is set. Other quick piece of breaking news that I know that you wanted to get to was our favorite former presidential candidate has recently gotten his payoff for his sort of role in the whole operation post South Carolina, whatever we're going to refer to that as, after the South Carolina race. Obviously Pete Buttigieg dropped out with the carrot on the stick that he was going to definitely get a cabinet placement. Supposedly there was reporting that he'd rejected a couple of cabinet placements that he thought were beneath him, or maybe not raising his profile enough. But yeah, as you just alluded to right up there, he's been tapped to be head of transportation. So that's interesting.
Yeah, he has been tapped to lead the transportation secretary, which, I mean, I guess it's like, sure, he was the mayor of South Bend, so it's not like,
a crummy mayor. He wasn't qualified to do any of these jobs.
No, so. And he definitely wasn't, qualified to be president, but this is definitely interesting. And I thought it was especially funny because I saw this story, which I pulled. South Bend, this was from 2019 while he was still the mayor. South Bend receives $5,000 grant from Domino's Pizza to fill potholes. So, this might have just been kind of a commercial stunt where they came in and were like, we're going to fill some potholes. Who knows? But it definitely is ironic that, Domino's had to come in to fix the transportation infrastructure of the town not even a year ago that this guy was just the mayor of. Now he's going to be the transportation secretary for the country. So, I think that's pretty fucking hilarious.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's so full circle, right? Like, it's the perfect example of failing up, right? And this is kind of how politics works on all facets, both as a representative, same in media, right? It's like the same exact formula as media. It's like the MSNBC, CNN, all of these like corporate media conglomerates, they're going to continue to promote and raise the profile of the people who are saying what they want, right? So it's not, it's the exact same thing with Pete Buttigieg. He doesn't have to be fucking good at his job at all. All he has to do is please the people that are powerful, right? And in this case, he pleased Joe Biden and the Democratic Party because he, got a bunch of fundraising money and then dropped out of the presidential race, right? When he had somewhat of a high profile after cheating in Iowa. And
let's also not forget that this is the guy that fired South Bend's first black police chief and the first black fire chief right in the same term. He just turned around and was like, no black people working for me. The city is, that's not going to happen here in South Bend. So his legacy is disgusting. And also, as it says here, many residents in the city felt that it had the worst pothole situation in the entire state, which is why they reached out to Domino's Pizza to do something about it.
Domino's agreed. If Domino's is the hero of your story, you're fucking up bad, dude.
Yeah, we complain about, corporate America all the time here at the Vanguard, but they're actually the hero of this story because they had to come in to pick up the pieces where Mayor Pete, let them fall down. And I believe this was actually during his, presidential run. So he was basically going around the country on his vanity tour, popping up on all sorts of mainstream media outlets, giving interviews, kind of just being Pete Buttigieg, doing his shtick, his very annoying thing, while his supporters were outside, playing Panic at the Disco or whatever the fuck they were doing. Meanwhile, the city of South Bend was, suffering, and Domino's had to come in. So again, this is just so funny that, and here it says cracks, bumps, and potholes can easily run a good carry-out pizza, and nobody wants that. You're a former pizza delivery man, Zach.
I spend a good amount of my life in a vehicle delivering people pizza. I've done the overnight. I've done the daytime. I've done the early morning at 10 a.m. when you open the shop at 9. I have done just about every kind of pizza delivery, and I can attest to the fact that you will notice the potholes all around you. And they probably were just like, especially if they have like a company vehicle. I mean, yeah, I could see that definitely being the kind of place where Domino's is a big enough company where they're like, God damn it, we keep having to get our tires replaced. Our employees are fucking complaining about this. Here's $5,000. Shut the fuck up. Like, because in America, we create corporations that are more powerful than the state. So they can be like, yeah, fucking fix this problem. I'm tired of dealing with it. It's kind of like how we always praise billionaires for solving these problems. It's like, oh, maybe we shouldn't just like leave the power to do this in the hands of one fucking person, right? Like people were noting that Amazon, like Jeff Bezos, if he took just the money that he's made since the start of the pandemic, could pay like every Amazon worker like $105,000 easily.
Yeah, he could probably pay everyone in the country like $105,000 easily. You know
Well,
what I'm
that was
saying?
just with the amount of money that he's made since March. So in 9 months, he could pay everybody and his staff a bonus of $105,000 and still be the richest man in the world. Like,
Yeah, that's
let everybody
crazy.
get to starve, and we should suck his dick because he gave him a raise to $15 so that they could starve less.
Yeah, exactly. So again, Pete Buttigieg will be officially entering the Biden administration.
Secretary of Transportation.
Instead of Warren or Bernie or anyone to actually get excited about, these are the.
I'd be fucking laughing really hard if they gave Warren something like Secretary of Transportation, just like something to like
Probably what it seems to
placate her, get but just like something like worthless, basically like this job. I mean, not
Yeah.
that this job's worthless. It has a lot of shit, but Pete Buttigieg is gonna run it like a fucking austerity. He's not gonna do anything with this position. He's gonna continue to execute Joe Biden's neoliberal corporate, and if anything, he's gonna be negotiating for cuts to things like infrastructure.
I would be interested to see if he ends up pursuing anything like a high-speed rail of some sort, because I know that's something that Joe Biden actually did bring up occasionally on the campaign trail. Like
That could be the kind of thing we get.
Only thing exciting that Biden ever talked about, in my opinion, that no one else did talk about was like a high-speed rail or a monorail and stuff. And that's actually one instance where, if it were to happen, there's a good chance it probably would happen, through a corporation. It's not like it would be a nationalized rail. It would be like
famously wants to do. It's called
Elon Musk has like the hyperlink thing, and there's a couple other companies that are working on it too. So
I know a boring company that he does where he's like trying to drill underneath Los Angeles to like fix the traffic problem.
Well, there's a couple things like that, but there's also the hyperlink that was actually supposed to run from Kansas City to St. Louis. I think that's been put on hold as of now. But these projects are interesting because, like I said, they are for the most part pretty corporatized. They're pretty privatized. But again, it's like
huge tax incentives.
Yeah, they have huge tax incentives. So it's kind of like in Kansas City, we have our streetcar here, which is technically actually a privatized, contracted company that's, making a ton of money off of that. It's not like a nationalized thing, or
at least it's free.
But on the flip side, it is, preferable to everyone driving their car around and, emitting all of that carbon into the atmosphere and all of the negative side effects that come along with, car traffic. Obviously, especially in a city, you want to have a little bit less of that. So it's one of those issues where I guess it's one of the few times where if it has to be privatized, then I'd rather, be privatized than not done at all. Because again, I think just to catch up to the rest of the fucking developed world, it's insane that we don't have a more, a better train system or high-speed rail or monorail of some sort that actually connects this country in a serious way. It's really, it's really embarrassing, frankly.